Hello everybody, welcome back once again. Long time no see. Lots of bad shit's been happening in my life, but let's have a great time and talk about this battle wagon. It's a gun wagon, great stuff. I've been looking at ways to get my orc army to be more effective on the battlefield, and I have just recently encountered this fantastic looking wagon. Let's get into it. The frame is 140 points on this thing. It is a Toughness 8, 16 wound model that's got a 5 up weapon skill and 5 up ballistic skill. It's got a 12-inch move, strength of 8 and 6 attacks, 16 wounds, 4 to 7 on the second profile and 1 to 3 on the third. 9-inch movement, 6 strength, D6 attacks on the second profile, 6 movement, 4 strength, D3 attacks on the final profile. It is leadership 7, which is a bit strange to me for vehicles that have leadership, but it does make sense if there was more than one vehicle in a battle wagon unit, but there's not, and I don't think that affects anything. However, the big shooters is where this thing starts to really make it happen, because there's 4 of them, giving you 12 strength, 5 AP nothing, damage 1 attacks. If this model remains stationary or moves under half speed in its movement phase, it can shoot its kill cannon twice, which means it gets 2d6, strength 8, AP minus 2, damage 2 shots. How many shots does it get across the field? Well, on average, out of the 12 shots that you're shooting with the big shooter, you can get 6 to 8. I've actually gotten, on some of these test rolls, just a few test rolls, I got more shots than I could feasibly get across the field without DACA. And the kill cannon also has an excellent hit rate, especially when you roll 2d6 and you hit 5 or 6 and you get 5 or 6 wounds across, and then you kill 5 or 6 marines or whatever with that damage 2 weapon. It's pretty nice. I think it's actually quite tasty. I'm going to be checking it out. It only has those guns on it at this loadout, which makes it 175 points because the big shooters are 5 points a gun, and the kill cannon is 15 points. It also explodes, and it has a mobile fortress, so it ignores the penalties for moving and firing the kill cannon twice. So it's always going to be hitting on a 5, and if you give it that DACA bonus, it gets crazy. That's how I got some of those super high hit rates, where it's like I got 14 hits out of 12 shots, right? Crazy stuff. Quite nasty. I would kind of hope if they wanted to make this even better, they'd add one thing and you shoot your big shooters twice along with it, right? That sounds crazy. And it would be a little bit crazy. It'd be really good, but it would make this model fantastic. And however, there's no AP on it. So if they have any kind of armor save, it's actually not that bad of a threat because you're just rolling 3-ups, right? Anyways, I think it's quite tasty, and I'll come back to you guys with a list. This list is one heck of a list that we have assembled. It is, in my opinion, going to be super fun to fill up your gun wagons with shooter boys and then field them in mass amounts of fire. This is a 2,000 point list consisting of 2 battalions and then a outrider detachment. The battalion is headed up, the first battalion is headed up by a big mech on Warbike. He's the index version. He has a KFF, and this is a Bad Moons battalion. He is backed up by a big mech with shock attack gun. Neither of them are warlords and neither of them have any relics. The troops for this selection is the meat of your army, part of the attraction of this army, I would say. It's 3 12 boys squads, all with shooters, and the knob has a big chopper and a custom shooter, and there's an orc boy with a heavy weapon, also known as a big shooter, in each of them. They all come out of 3 gun wagons, each with a cannon and 4 big shooters, and they ideally drive up, jump out, and provide covering fire / just massed fire into the enemy, along with these gun wagons that we've previously discussed, which are there are 3 of them. Then you get into a Blood Axe battalion, led up by Boss Snickrot, a war boss on Warbike, who is the warlord, who's got brutal but cunning, and he's also has the Killer Claw. Then there is 30 Gretchen as the troops, and 30 commandos to back up Boss Snickrot. 3 10 groups each. A Knob with Choppa Choppa, and Choppa Slugga, I guess, is the loadout. And then 9 commandos. There's also an Outrider detachment that will be a Speed Freaks detachment, Cult of Speed detachment from your army. That is Evil Sons, led by another warlord, which will be your field commander. He will get the Bike Relic that gives him a bonus toughness and a 5-up invul. Also, he is backed up by a weird boy who might be a warp ahead, but for now just has the jump. And you could actually cut him, and you could switch the jump for something else. Actually, you might want to have him cast Fist of Gork instead. And you might want to have him be a warp head with the jump of Fist of Gork, so he just jumps himself and then Fist of Gork's your guys. The Outrider part of this is actually a elite selection first, which is a unit of 4 knobs on war bikes, Power Claw on the lead knob, and then 3 Choppa Choppa knobs. Then it's led up by 3 knobs, 3 not knobs on Warbike, but 3 Warbiker squads with a knob with a big Choppa, and then another Choppa, and then 3 Warbikers. Well, 2 Warbikers apiece. So making up a total of 9 Warbikers and 4 knobs on Warbike. This is one heck of a speed wog. There's a lot of stuff jumping in and out here. There's 9, 13, 15 bikers in this list alone, plus 3 wagons. This is one heck of a list that if you want to run around with vehicles, you got it. Gunwagons move up, each of them respectively, I guess, getting the generating extra DACA on 5, and they all move up slowly and shoot twice. You pick one to shoot double range, and then the rest of them to shoot their big guns, their big shooters the first turn. None of them have lobas, as those lobas do not get doubled, and the big shooters really are where a part of the mass fire comes from. If they take cover from your vehicles, that's what Boss Snickrot is for. He infiltrates and then punishes them for hiding from you in cover. And to interdict between you and your fire command there that you have there, your little massed fire base, you have the Speed Freaks army, who can run around and control whatever you need to control and keep people off of whatever bags you need to keep clear. I think it's a pretty tasty little list. I might build it just to run it. This looks super fun to me. Having all of these gun wagons hanging around doing all of that shooting would be quite nasty, because that's 6 die-8 kill cannon shots, and then 36 big shooter shots. 6 die-6, I should say, kill cannon shots. That's pretty nasty, not die-8. Rerolling 1s because they're bad moons with a 5-up invul and running around getting healed by a Big Mech. It's pretty tough stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next episode.